All of you done the homework? I have given a mesh analysis homework, right? A problem in the mesh analysis. Okay, I will check the result of the homework in the next offline class, and now we can continue from the yesterday's class. Okay, super mesh analysis, and let me share my screen. See, actually, this is the problem. You can see here that this is the problem. Okay, can you see my this? Can you see this screen? Okay. See, you can unmute your mic and say yes or no. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Pranav?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We were at this problem. See, determine the current in the 5 ohm resistor in the network shown below. Okay. So 5 ohm is here. You can see here 5 ohm is here. So by using here in the question, it is not asked to use any rules. Okay. When you are seeing such a type of circuit and you are asked to find the current through the 5 ohm resistor. So first you should remember you can whether you are able to apply the mesh analysis or not. See here the mesh currents are already marked as I1, I2 and I3. So it is better to do mesh analysis, but there is some problem. You know that in the case of mesh analysis, whenever the number of voltage sources is high, the mesh we can easily apply mesh analysis. But here you can see that there is a current source 2 ampere. So what we have to do is, if you are applying mesh analysis and there is a current source in between two mesh, that means what is you have to consider this as a super mesh. Okay, you have to consider this as a super mesh. So 2 ampere current source is there. So first of all, you have to eliminate or you have to avoid this branch, that is branch containing 2 ampere source. So you have to redraw the circuit first. So before that you have to write in between the mesh. First you are numbering meshes 1, mesh 2, mesh 3. So in between mesh 2 and mesh 3 there is a current source. Okay, that is 2 ampere. So you have to eliminate that branch. So you can redraw the circuit. Okay, now you can redraw the circuit. Before that you have to remember one thing, that here in this mesh I2 is the current that is flowing in this manner, and in the third mesh current is flowing in this manner. So when you are considering the branch 3 ohm, the current I2 current flows from the side F. I have marked this each of the node as A, B, C, D, E, F. So I2 flows from F to C. Its direction is from F to C. And what is the direction of I3? I3 flows from C to F. Okay, I3 flows from C to F. So both are opposite in direction, right? I2 towards left side and I3 towards right side. So both are opposite in direction. So the current through this branch will be the difference between I2 and I3. Okay. So the current through the branch 3 ohm will be the difference between I2 and I3. So you can write the equation. So the current through the branch 3 ohm. What is the current through the branch 3 ohm? See, can you write the current through the branch 3 ohm equations? So you can write it as so we are not considering 3 ohm, we are considering 5 ohm. See, 5 ohm, whenever we are considering 5 ohm, actually you are asked to find the current through the 5 ohm resistor. The current through the 5 ohm is equal to I1 minus I3, or it may be I3 minus I1. And here you are applying mesh analysis, so you have to consider the super mesh. In that case, the super mesh equation is equal to I2 equal to 2 ampere is equal to, you can write it, this current is equal to the difference between I2 and I3. Okay, that you also remember. Okay, so when you are writing the super mesh equation, so let us start with each of the mesh. You can first redraw the diagram. Here I am redrawing the diagram, so you can also redraw the circuit like this. Okay, first 50 volt source is here, then 10 ohm resistance, 5 ohm resistance, and here I am not part of the super mesh. Okay, there is a current source in it, so I am not, I have simply drawn this resistance and current source, but actually we are not considering it, but these currents will be marked like this. Actually there is no meaning in drawing the current like this, because it has no physical meaning, but the analysis, for analysis purpose, we have to mark these currents. Okay, I2 and I3. Okay, so now this will be our circuit. You have to draw this circuit. Okay, everybody should draw this circuit. Okay, after eliminating the branch that containing 3 ohm and current source, you have to draw this circuit. That is the first step in our analysis. Okay, okay, students, you draw this circuit diagram, and then you can start analysis. Okay, draw it. Okay, so എല്ലാരും വരച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞോ? അനുഗ്രഹ് വരച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞോ? അനുഗ്രഹ്, okay, then you can continue in a manner. You have to apply mesh analysis. So first you are taking the mesh that containing 50 volt, 10 ohm and 5 ohm. See, this is your first mesh. Okay, and this all together constitute the super mesh. Okay, so first apply mesh analysis in this circuit. So you can apply mesh analysis in this circuit. So how can you apply mesh? You can write your equations. You can write the KVL equations corresponding to this mesh. So you can write the KVL equation corresponding to this mesh. You may write the equations. So you can write the equations. So Fatima to Safa, can you tell the equation that you are getting for this first mesh? Fatima to Safa. Fatima to Safa is there? Have you written the equation? KVL equation? Okay. Anybody get the first mesh equation? Jyotish? Jyotish is there or not? Kailasnath? Kailasnath. Kailasnath. Nikhil Das.
Yes,
Nobody
ma'am.
there? Nikhil Das?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, have you written the equation?
15I1 minus 10I2 minus 5I3 equal to 50.
You got it yourself? Or you are copying from my slides, or you are writing the equations yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can proceed in your way. That means sometimes you may have a different method to write KVL equations. So you can proceed in your manner. So the final equation will be 50 minus 15I1 minus 10I2 minus 5I3. Okay. If anybody have doubt? Anybody have doubt? If you have doubt, you can ask me. Okay. If you have doubt, you can ask me. 50 equal to 15I1 minus 10I2 minus 5I3. So let us go to the second super mesh. Okay. Next we are writing the equation for super mesh. Next we are writing the equation for super mesh. So in the super mesh there is 10 ohm resistance, 2 ohm resistance, 1 ohm resistance and 5 ohm resistance. Okay. So you can write the equation. You should remember one thing, that through the 10 ohm resistance, what all are the current is flowing? Through the 10 ohm resistance, I2 is flowing upwards. You can see we are marking the I2 like this. That means whenever I2 is coming like this, it will go upwards like this. Okay. Similarly, through the 10 ohm resistor, you can see that I1 flowing downwards. Okay. So whenever you are considering this mesh, you should assume that I2 is greater than I1. So you can write 10 into I2 minus I1 will be the voltage drop across this 10 ohm. Okay. Similarly, when you are considering this super mesh, if we are taking the 5 ohm resistance, then the current flowing through this 5 ohm resistors will be the difference between I3 and I1, because I3 is flowing upwards and I1 is flowing downwards. So if you are considering this super mesh, you should assume that the current through this super mesh is higher. So you can 2 ohm and 1 ohm resistor, the current flowing are I2 and I3. Okay. You should write the equation yourself, then only you can do the problems during the examination time. Okay. So you can write the Kirchhoff's voltage law for the super mesh like this. I am writing the equation like this, and the final equation is this one. Okay. Minus 15I1 plus 12I2 plus 6I3 equal to 0. You should do the problem in your way, and the final equation will be this one. You can verify whether you are getting the super mesh equation like this or not. Okay. Take your time and write equations. Fatimatu Sana. Fatimatu Sana, are you there? Fatimatu Sana. If you are not answering, how can you identify that you are understanding this one or not? Fatimatu Sana. Sayant, are you there? Sayant, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you got the equation? For the super mesh, what is the equations you are getting? For the super mesh, have you written the equation, Sayant?
Ma'am, a second.
Your equation? So I am writing the equation in the manner first resistance is 10 and the current will be flowing in this. I am assuming that total super mesh current will be flowing in this clockwise direction. So through the 10 ohm, what is the voltage drop? 10 into I2 minus I1. Actually, I am assuming that the current will flowing from higher potential to lower potential. So current will be flowing to negative side. So I am taking minus 10 into I2 minus I1. And the next is 2 ohm current flowing through it is I2, that is equal to minus 2 I2. And next I am taking 1 ohm, here also current is flowing downwards, so that is equal to minus I3. Next is 5 ohm current is equal to 5 into minus 5 into I3 minus I1. So minus 5 into I3 minus I1. And here there is no voltage source, so I am equating the overall voltage source, summation of the voltage drop across each component equal to 0. Okay, so that is I am getting 0. So now I am multiplying the terms inside the bracket with this quantity. As a result, I can expand this equation as 10I2. This will be equal to minus 10I2 plus 10I1 minus 2I2 minus I3 minus 5I3 plus 5I1 equal to 0. But here you know that this is on the left side of the equation. So you can change the sign. Okay. So finally I am getting 10I2 minus 10I1 plus 2I2 plus I3 plus 5I3 minus 5I1 equal to 0. That is the equation. Okay. So you can add the corresponding terms. See here I1 terms. There are two I1 terms. So that is equal to 15 I1 minus 15 I1, and I2 terms. There are two I2 terms. So that is equal to 12 I2 plus 6 I3 equal to 0. So this is the second super mesh equation. So in the first super mesh equation you are getting this equation. You can number it as 1, and next you are getting the super mesh equation is that is numbered 2. Okay, 1 and 2. So that is the equations. But you know that here the number of variables is I1, I2 and I3, right? Number of variables is 3. But now you are having only 2 equations. In the basic mathematics, you know, studied that for 3 unknowns, there should be 3 equations. But here we have only 2 equations. So what to do? So we have to write one more equations. So that equation will be obtained from this super mesh path. See here we are eliminating one branch, right? So you can see here that there is a current source. Okay, there is a current source. So that current source will be equal to, you can write the equation. See here is a current source. So that 2 ampere, that is a current. So here I2 is flowing in this path and I3 is flowing in the opposite way. So here the net current will be 2 ampere. That means I2 minus I3 equal to 2 ampere. That is the third equation. Here I am taking I2 minus I3, but not I3 minus I2. Why I am taking I2 minus I3, not I3 minus I2? Because you know that 2 ampere current is in the direction from F to C, right? 2 ampere current source is from F to C. Its direction is from F to C. So the net current is from F to C. So the maximum current will be in the same direction. So I2 is maximum. So I2 will be the greater quantity. That is why I am taking 2 ampere equal to I2 minus I3. Okay. So next equation, third equation, you can write it as I2 minus I3. Now there are 3 equations and 3 unknowns, and you can solve that 3 equations. So we can write the three equations side by side. That is, first equation is 15i1 minus 10i2 minus 5i3 equal to 50. Second equation is minus 15i1 plus 12i2 plus 6i3 equal to 0. And third equation is i2 minus i3 equal to 2. Okay, all of you get the three equations. Anybody having doubt, you can ask me now. Okay, see, anybody having doubt, tell me. Anybody having doubt? You can say, I see, I'm taking the class from the mobile, so you can you can ask me the doubt. See, Fatima Sana.
Yes, ma'am.
Unmute your mic and you can ask me the doubt. Fatima Sana. Yes. Do you get the three equations?
Ma'am, audio breaking. Yes, ma'am.
Got the three equations? Mesh equation, three mesh equations. Hello? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Unmute your mic and say yes or no. Science?
Yes, ma'am.
Science? Science? Science is there? Nikhil Das? Nikhil Das? You got the equations? Three mesh equations. You got three mesh equations?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I think all of you have got the three mesh
Yes.
equations. Now you can solve the equations, right? See, we have reached up to this point. Now, how can we solve three equations in a simple manner? So you have now three equations. Equations 1, 2, 3. You can see here. Here is the three equations. So equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. How can you solve these equations? You might have studied about the matrix method for solving the equations. Okay. So first of all, you have to write all these equations in a matrix form. So that is, you can write the equations. You see here the variables are I1, I2, I3. So you can write the equation in a matrix form. So it is easier to solve these equations by using this matrix method. So you can study this method. Okay. So this problem, there is other methods for solving this equation, but this problem you can do in this manner. Okay. See, first of all, you have to write the variables. That is I1, I2, I3. These are the variables. So it is write it in a column matrix. So there is one column I1, I2, I3. And next, you can write the coefficients of each of the variables in a row matrix. See, here the first equation. First equation is this one. So first mesh, this is super mesh, and third is branch equation. Okay. So first coefficients are 15. So 15 is written here. Minus 10, that is written here. Minus 5, it is written here. Next is minus 15. Next is plus 12. Next is 6. So that can be, you can write it in the second row. And next is third equations. And in the third equation, you can write a 0, 1, minus 1. So this is the third equation. You can write it in a matrix form. Write it. So you can write the equations. So these two matrices can be written in this manner. First is the column matrix, second one is a row matrix. So the coefficients are written in this row matrix. So this is a column matrix and this is a row matrix. See, this is not a row matrix. You can see that there will be rows and columns. So coefficients are written in this manner. Okay. So next, there is that matrix multiplication will be equal to this quantity, that is after the equal to there is a constant term, so that is 50, 0 and 2. So you can write in the same manner 50, 0 and 2. So this is the way you are writing this matrix form. Okay, so first variables will be written in a column matrix, and then the matrix will be coefficients will be written in this manner, and after that constant or voltage term can be written in a column matrix. Okay, so in this, you know that I1, I2, I3 are variables. So you have to find out I1, I2 and I3. See, what is your question? Your question is to determine the current in the 5 ohm resistance. The current in the 5 ohm resistance. What is the current in the 5 ohm resistance? That is equal to I1 minus I3. Okay? Current in 5 ohm resistance is equal to I1 minus I3. So you need to find out only what? I1 and I3 alone. Okay? I1 and I3. It is better to calculate I1 and I3. No need to find out I2. Okay. So in the here now we have this equation, matrix equation. From this we can calculate I1 and I3. So I1 will have a form. I1 will be equal to, first you have to replace the first column of this coefficient matrix with this constant term. So you are going to replace the first column with this term. So that is, instead of 15 minus 15 0, you are going to write it 50 0 2. So you can write it I1 equal to 50 0 2. Okay, next is minus 10 12 1. That is equal to minus 10 12 1. Next column is minus 5 6 1. So here you can write it minus 5 6 1. So you are finding the determinant of that matrix. So now simply you are replacing this column with a 50 0 2, and you are finding the determinant of that matrix. So that is I1 equal to determinant of that matrix divided by determinant of the coefficient matrix. So what is the determinant of coefficient matrix? That is determinant of 15 minus 10 minus 5 minus 15 minus 12 6 0 1 minus 1. Okay. So this is actually this type of solution is by using Cramer's rule. So you can say that for finding the unknowns using matrix form, you can use Cramer's rule. Okay, so I1 equal to determinant of this matrix divided by this matrix. Okay, so I am simply writing the answers. You can proceed the determinant. How can you find out the determinant? Ashwande, how can you find out the determinant? Suppose if there is a 3 by 3 matrix, how can you find out the determinant? So you can say simply, how can you find out the determinant of this numerator matrix? Ashwand, you can unmute your mic and say the way. How can you find out the determinant? Ashwand is there? Otherwise, I will be marking the absent. Ashwand? Jyotish? How can you find the determinant? You can simply say, what is 50 into like that? You can say.
15 into
How can you find 12 minus?
12 minus 1.
അങ്ങനെയാണോ? 50 into? First you have to take a 50, right? And eliminate that row and column. And then
1 and minus 1.
Yes, that is correct. 50 into determinant 12, 6, 1 minus 1. Then what is the sign next?
Minus 10 into
minus 10 into
0 6 2 minus
0,
1
6,
determinant.
2 minus 1 determinant. Correct. Next is
minus 5 into 0 12 2 1 determinant.
yes, that is correct. Very good. So you can find the determinant like this, way. So first we are taking 50 into determinant 12, 6, 1 minus 1. Next sign is minus. And then minus 10 into determinant 0, 6, 2 minus 1. Next term is plus. Then minus 5 into determinant 0, 12, 2, 1. Actually, we are eliminating the row and column corresponding to this element, okay? So, that is the method, okay? So, that is the determine the value of numerator. Next, similarly, you can find the denominator. See, first of all, you have to do is find out the determinant of denominator term. So that means first find out the determinant of this quotient term. Then you can find out the determinant of this numerator, okay? Because if you are using I1 in this manner, similarly I3 can be find out. You can say I3 is similar where I3 is equal to first. So you have to find out I1 and I3. So for finding the I3, what you are doing is first you will replace the third column, I3 column, this column with a 50, 0, 2, okay? So I1 value, I think you got the answer like this, 19.99, that is approximately equal to 20 ampere. Next I3, there is no need to find out I2, but for understanding the Cramer's rule, I am writing this equation because I2, how can you find out I2? You have to replace the middle column or middle column with this 50, 0, 2. You can see my first column will be 15 minus 5, 0. You can see 15 minus 15, 0. Second column will be, you are replacing the second column. So it will be 50, 0, 2. So 50, 0, 2. And third column will be the same. That is for I2. Okay. And divided by determinant value. Determinant value, you have to find out the first. So determinant value will be minus 45. So you can simply write a minus 45 here. That is why I am saying you can first find out the quotient matrix determinant. Okay. Determinant of the quotient matrix. Then you will get the value minus 45. Okay. See, you can take a break. We can join after 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Next hour also I am taking the classes. You can join. See, you break. Do you want break?